to the Friday Night Locker Room Show presented by Space Coast Daily, joined by Steve Wilson, Orville Susan. I'm your host, Zach Clark. Guys, we had two teams from Brevard County and we advanced to the next round. The first game we're going to talk about is the Lakeland at Viera game.
This will be the Friday Night Locker Room Game of the Week, and it will be on AM 1060 WMEL, Alan Slaughterzinski and Anthony Knockreiner with the call. You can also pick it up on spacecoastdaily.com and also FNLR.net. This game is a Class 7A regional final, and last week we saw the Viera Hawks beat Martin County for the second time this year, and the win propels them deeper into the playoffs than they have ever been before. Viera now 8-4 overall. The Hawks got a very comfortable win, 47-17. Now they take on a very good Lakeland team who won their last week over Plant out of Tampa, 21-11. The Dreadnoughts run their overall record to 9-2, heading into the third week of the playoffs. One common opponent for both Lakeland and the Hawks was Lakeland Kathleen. The Dreadnoughts beat them 35-13, while the Hawks lost to the Red Devils 29-25. I've been very impressed with Kevin Mays and the Viera Hawks ever since they put up 42 points on the Cocoa Tigers, and I believe they have learned something every week since that game. I like the Viera Hawks for a win.
He does. He likes Viera. Viera's defense has been on a tear as of late, haven't they, Steve?
And they're going to need that and more Friday night. You know, Lakeland is so good. They've only lost 2 games this year, one to Carroll City and one to Bartow, which was a little bit of a surprise. But to me, it's the defense of Lakeland. They're playing so well. They completely shut down their opponent last week, Plant, who had put up 500 yards against Kathleen the week before. They only put up 230 against Lakeland. The defense for the Dreadnoughts is playing great. It's a balanced offense. A.J. Davis has run for over 1,000 yards this year. They can throw the football. But conversely, looking at the Hawks, they're balanced. A lot of people don't think so because they say all they do is pass. But, you know, Brendan DePlanky is well rested. He's only had 14 carries the last 2 weeks. He averaged 10 yards a carry last week. He's going to get you the yards if they need them, and I think they're going to need them. Lakeland's defense is that good. They're not going to allow you to be one-dimensional and beat them. But, you know, the offense, the firepower the Hawks have, coupled with the way their defense is playing, like you mentioned a minute ago, Viera's at home. I think when you look at common opponents deep into the playoffs, it really doesn't have a lot of meaning. We saw that in South Florida last week when Carroll City lost to Miami Central, who had beaten them, you know, in a close game early during the season. Central beat them by 30 points last week, and we saw it where Hallandale beat Plantation down south. So, you know, I'm kind of like Orville. I think the Hawks can surprise a lot of people and make it to the state semifinals. It's going to be a tall challenge because Lakeland, they've got the history behind them. They won multiple state champions, but the Hawks, this Hawk team will not be. They're not going to be shook up. They went to Allen, Texas, and played in front of 20,000 people. They're not going to be intimidated by any football team in the state of Florida. I think the Hawks are going to pull off the surprise and win the game.
You heard it here first. Steve Wilson and Orville Susan agree. That was first. All right, this was the Friday Night Locker Room Show. It should be very exciting down in Viera.